So welcome to 990 Kingston Road. This is our beach showroom location, and I just want to give you a little bit of a tour of the showroom, basically, and all the shades that we have, and to give you a reason or an explanation why we do advise to always come and start from the showroom, your window covering experience and the shopping and the decision making. So best to start from the showroom. Busy day today, it's Christmas Eve. Anywho, so we try and use our windows. So here we have the Silhouette shade. It is one of our favorites. It is a twist on the classic Silhouette shade. It's called Silhouette Halo. And it does have the clear view sheer feature, which really makes it, I hope you can see that in the video, really clear view through. That's the whole point of the shade. I'm going to tilt it closed here, and we will lift it up. And then over here, also in the windows, front windows, we have a Luminette. So Luminette sheer, really good for floor to ceiling windows, sliding glass doors, any really large expanses of glass. It's a sheer that you can see through like a classic sheer, but it does have fabric suspended vanes that tilt open and close, giving you full privacy or a bit of room darkening, like in this case. Okay, so another neat shade and unique to the Hunter Douglas brand, it's called the Architectural Roller Shade. Some really fabulous fabrics on trend, linens, textures, and essentially it's a roller shade that has these architectural details, horizontal really structure to it. It rolls up into what we call a cassette, and there's also an option where it's just an open roll without the cassette, covered with the same fabric. Those are the kind of details Hunter Douglas is well known for, covered and matching, really color matching hardware. You know, everything to the fabric, it's the same to the end caps that match, end caps on the bottom rail, end caps on the cassette. So this is our kind of roller shade wall, if you will. So here we have the Ultraglide mechanism. So the reasons why, one of the main reasons why we ask you to come to the showroom, obviously some inspiration for what is really the latest in the products and the styles, and also for you to get to use and see how the mechanisms work, because some of it is really not easy to explain, so it's really best to try it out. So this is the Ultraglide wand mechanism, but on a roller. So quite unique again to the Hunter Douglas brand. There are no more, you cannot have anything with a looped cord or a loop changer to the Health Canada safety regulation. So this one is a motorized version. This is the Ultraglide manual wand. And then in the back we have another roller. So a Duolite roller is what we have in the back here. So there's a nice sheer layer to this roller. This option is only available as a motorized, the full Powerview motorization system, and it has an integrated light blocking liner. So this little blackout shade really comes out from the same tube, so it's pretty cool. And they both of these fabrics obviously roll up and out of the way when you want them into, again, a cassette. This display was showcasing some of the best of the honeycomb shades, the Duette honeycomb line. The first shade you see is a really large, nice sample of a motorized, again, the Powerview version of the Duette honeycomb with a clear view sheer. So you do get two full length fabrics. So Duette with the Duolite, it is a sheer. Because of the Health Canada regulation, this is another reason why we now have to have a sheer. You're no longer able to just have no fabric at the top because of the exposed cords that are running through the shade and making it work. So that this is our wall mount remote. This shade is on number 2, and I'm just going to lift it all up because I'd like to show you some other shades in the back. A feature of the Hunter Douglas honeycombs is that the fabrics are always stacked really well, better than any other brand of window coverings or window shades that have like a honeycomb or a cellular line. So this is about 6 feet or so, and it really just stacks up to Altogether, this is about 5.5 inches or so. And it does have two full-length fabrics, the sheer and the light filtering one. Behind it, we do have a manual version of a honeycomb. And again, Duolite, so it actually has two fabrics. So I'll show you. This is a room darkening honeycomb. Honeycombs are really great, or really the best, one of the two best choices for room darkening because of the way they're structured and engineered. They have minimal light gaps on the sides. If you do have an inside, if you can mount inside a window. So it's just the way they're made, the gap is the smallest, one of the smallest out of the window shades. Another example would be a Roman shade, but we'll get into that later. And then, so this shade does have two wands because one wand is dealing with the bottom fabric, and this one is controlling the top fabric, which in this case is a light filtering. So we have a light filtering, a room darkening fabric, but this could be a sheer. So you could have a sheer, room darkening, sheer, light filtering, or in this case we have a light filtering, a semi-opaque, and a room darkening shade. So short pumps, and that lifts it up. And then one more thing we have hiding here in the background, which is super cool, is the Duette Lightlock. So it's a honeycomb shade with side channels for maximum room darkening. So this is the ideal. And then from further back, just so we can, it is obviously it's not as true to life, so we can't really give you the full effect of like how much light is blocked, because of course that's not a real window in the back, but it is Lightlock. We'll just lift it up, maybe you'll get a sense. It is lit up from the back to display, so it really just blocks out most of the light. Nothing is 100% other than boarding up your window, so no one shade will do it, but this is the closest thing you can get. And often, most of the time, if the windows are square, if we can caulk it, you know, well enough, it really does give you 100%. It is possible to achieve pretty much 100% light blocking. Another good reason to come to the showroom is to test out the Powerview automation choices, so basically automated shade choices, and just how the system works. The remote that's the remote. It's a little round thing. It comes in white or black, and then this is really a holder. Lots of different fun colors. You can put it on a wall. It just really sticks on the wall. It's the same remote. That's just a holder. Yeah, so you don't lose it. It is always a good idea to have one per floor, just in case, or guest rooms. And then, so that's the remote, and then also you can play around with the app. So there's a cool app, and then we have, maybe I can show you. It's really easy to use, so just lie down, and we have the big shade in the front, going down. Or front screen, there's one more for the other one on the right side. It's gonna come down. There you go. In this area of the showroom, we have our kind of the Roman shade section. So Hunter Douglas does have, we do custom made, handmade, and locally made Roman shades and drapery. We also carry a line of the Hunter Douglas brand, of course, Roman shades essentially. So there's the, here we have the Vignette, they call it the Vignette Roman shade line. And again, with a few systems, so our favorite, the Ultraglide wand, if you want the manual system. So short strokes up and down with an Ultraglide wand, and it does look like a soft Roman shade with folds. And then to lower it, you just tug it at an angle. So behind that Ultraglide wand Roman shade, we have a fully motorized Powerview Vignette Roman shade with a flat style sheer fabric and an integrated liner, so a light blocking liner that's just raising up now. So once that rolls up into the headrail, the room darkening liner, the sheer liner will also roll up. So with this style, a flat Roman with a liner, the only choice is actually the Powerview motorization. So there's no manual version of this style. A few more from the Allustra line of Roman shades. It is a flat line, like a flat style Roman shade line, very textured, and it is unique to only a few of the Hunter Douglas retailers like ourselves. So not every Hunter Douglas retailer carries this line, so it is exclusive. The first one I have is with that same Ultraglide wand, goes up and down. Behind it, the reason why it has another wand is because there's actually a white walking layer also, and it is independent, meaning you can obviously lift the white walking layer up, have this shear down. They just operate independently of one another. And then we have a really nice, sleek cordless. This is unlined, so there are choices, unlined like this, lined with a cordless mechanism. It's quite nice, works really nice. The Ultraglide wand, and then as well, of course, the best of the best, the Powerview automation. And this particular shade also has an independent liner behind it. So we'll try and lower that for you as well. So there's a nice, really lovely textured white sheer. And then behind it, you can kind of see another layer of a Roman shade coming down, which acts as a liner to give you a little bit more privacy. We do custom drapery, so we just have some examples of headrail styles, and some of the fabrics we carry, there's really, lots of choices. Here's a ripple fold sheer. And we do have a few more goodies behind. Gliding panels, Skyline gliding panels by Hunter Douglas, and a Skylight shade. There goes Skylight panel. They glide left to right to left. And then we do have hiding back there a Skylight, a big Skylight shade. It's a honeycomb shade that's been framed, and then you can put it up obviously in a Skylight. So removing it, I'm just going to show you where that is, because we're using this display as like one massive window, but because it has framing, you can put that up on a slanted roof line in an actual Skylight. Because of the safety regulation, we cannot have this exposed. So if you do want the Skylight today in Canada, there has to be at least a sheer always in your Skylight, or the room darkening, or a light filtering extra fabric. I'll just press the manual button here just because it's a little bit easier. But of course it is operated via remote control. So that's now the other fabric coming down for more room darkening or energy efficiency, keeping the heat and the sun out. A few more things we have on this side of the store. We're just showing with a TV screen behind it the difference between a silhouette, a classic silhouette shade that also has that Duolite option for room darkening. A room darkening liner that comes out. So a silhouette shade that has 2 layers of sheer at the back, sheer at the front, and suspended fabric veins. So that's your classic silhouette. Most people are well aware of that style of the shade. And one of our favorites, a twist on that, really, a Pirouette shade, which only has the 1 layer of sheer at the back, so kind of giving you a clear view through. And then you tug on the Ultraglide wand, or it can be motorized. The veins pucker up so you can see through. So we're just kind of comparing them and the view through you get, because it is a lot clearer with the Pirouette shade. There is one here, another version of it, with the room darkening liner. So darkens the room a little bit better obviously than the light filtering one, but anything that opens, tilts, has fabric veins or any sort of veins or slats, you're going to get some light in, so it's never the best option for room darkening. So that is the Pirouette shade. There's a unique product in front of it in this display as well. I want to show you. It is a roller shade, but it's called a Sonette roller shade because it is unique to Hunter Douglas. It's a lined roller shade giving you maximum energy efficiency because it creates those little air pockets. So it's like a hybrid between a honeycomb and a roller. It rolls up like a roller, but it has the energy efficiency of a honeycomb and sound absorption. So this is a really good choice for kids' rooms or anywhere, or maybe TV rooms. It does fit in quite tightly, so it's really good. It's a pretty good option for room darkening. The gaps are quite minimized. It is available with this really nice cordless manual system, and there are some motorization options. So this is our super easy, more economical motorization system called Soft Touch, where there is a wand. So maybe a really good option for somebody aging in place, or anyone that has maybe mobility issues, where they can't really use a manual option and full automation is just unnecessary or maybe just too hard to use. So it does have a motor, but there's no apps, there's no remotes. It's just a little wand, and you just gently tug it up, or you tug it down to stop it, or you just gently push it up to go up. So very economical. The motor is louder, that's why it's more economical than the full automation. Few more Roman shades here, but this is more of the classic sort of bamboo shade line. This is a really new fabric, so lots of choices here. You really have to come and see all the materials that are available in this Provenance woven wood line, a cordless and unlined shade, and then also cordless but a lined version, a different material, different colors, so lots of options, lots of colors. And just behind you there, we have just a few more choices, kind of explaining the roller shade choices more. So I do want to show you, these are banded shades or zebra shades. There's a light filtering version here. They're a good economical choice if you like really the price of a roller, but you want a little bit more options when it comes to light control and privacy. But the horizontal lines can be a little bit too much in some cases. So it's not, the effect is definitely not the same as with the Pirouette or Silhouette shade, which are a lot more softer looking. As this one's going up, so that was the zebra shade. There's another room darkening version behind it. So we try and show you all as much as we possibly can when it comes to fabrics and the choices. But of course we have so many, every product line has hundreds of variations of the fabric and the material and the color. Classic traditional roller shade in a cassette, one of the many semi-opaque or privacy fabrics. So this will give you privacy, but it filters, lets the light in. I just want to point out what it looks like today. We do have some more videos on this same subject line due to the Health Canada regulation. This is now what, maybe I should stand here, how if you do want a chain and a manual option, this is the only choice. The chain has to be concealed, and you have to lift it up in order to use it. So it has its own like a sheet that has to be, once you let it go, it kind of covers it, but it is quite a substantial piece of hardware, so not ideal. Going for that Ultraglide wand would be best, or cordless system. That is an upgrade for sure, but it would just mean like lifting up and down with your hand. And then this is just more for inspiration, honeycomb fabrics from their premium Duette line. Just a little bit of an idea of really the amount of choice you have when it comes to honeycombs, but really the same is the case with all of the other lines, like the rollers, the pirouettes, the silhouettes, and everything else. And lastly, we do carry a few shutter options. So we have real wood shutters, hardwood shutters. We can do custom stain shutters. The majority, yes, so people do just white shutters. So then we have, again, hardwood shutters, a composite kind of shutter, which is this one, and then your classic vinyl shutter, which is really probably best for, you know, bathrooms or really high humidity areas. So they look pretty much identical. You just have to kind of use it to feel the difference, because that's definitely, you can tell it's lighter, it's vinyl, and then this one really feels like it's wood, but it's actually wood pulp and plastics. So that's the new style, Hunter Douglas's new style shutter, and then painted hardwood shutters really look just the same. And then we have lots of choices when it comes to stain. Custom stain in here, we're actually, as if it's hidden, just a very, your classic Venetian. And again, you can't have a cord that's just loose. So it's like a manual lift with this little button. You push and you pull, and then you can still tilt it as you would expect to be able to do so. Just stack it up. So that's your probably best choice for if you really want that classic Venetian blind. And I think we covered it all. Thank you very much. Come and visit us at 990 Kingston Road.